Crystal Maiden here, and welcome to part 2 of Sonic Adventure. So, you might have already noticed by now that this game has hub worlds in it. There's actually very few Sonic games that have hub worlds. And I think there's a pretty good reason for that, because hub worlds sort of break the pace. You can't just go instantly from one level to the next. But I look at it as, it works for this game, because it's very story focused. So it would break the immersion if you just instantly went from one level to the next, rather than going through the actual world of the game. And like, the hub worlds are small enough and have memorable set pieces, so I don't get lost. But anyways, this is Windy Valley. Another great level. The music of Windy Valley Act 1 is actually a slowed down remix of the Genesis music of 3D Blast Special Stage. I was pretty surprised to find that out. These things are annoying, you've got to bounce on them multiple times to be launched high enough. I mean, why can't you just bounce on them once? This extra life is pretty tricky to get. Something I haven't talked about yet is the spin dash jump. Because of the way that the levels are designed, it's really easy to take great shortcuts by spin dashing and then jumping instantly. And then you have a lot of horizontal momentum when you jump from a spin dash, because you have all that momentum from the spin dash still there. I just love the level design of this game because it's so satisfying taking shortcuts with the spin dash jump. There was originally meant to be more debris flying around in this area, but I guess they decided that it would be too annoying or obscure the camera. Hope you recognize this theme. This is a remix of Green Groove Act 1 from the Genesis version of 3D Blast. Funny how only the Genesis music gets remixed. I wonder what that means. Yeah, and some people complain about there being too much automation in Sonic games, but I have no idea how to prevent Sonic from constantly getting stuck against the side of these things. You know how drunk Sonic looks when he's constantly moving from left to right, staying on the left and right side of these things? Do you know how goofy that is? It can be hard to know exactly what you're supposed to do to prevent that from happening. So a lot of people complain, oh, the later 3D Sonic games are too automated. But sometimes they have automation for a reason. Sometimes it's good to have things be scripted. It was way too hard for me to get over here. Something I haven't talked much about yet is the camera. And again, I don't think the camera is bad most of the time. I mean, it sure gets blocked by objects and occasionally has trouble keeping up with you. But I think the camera is pretty serviceable until one room in the game in Amy's levels. Because yes, you will be playing as Amy in this game eventually. I was holding down here, and then, right side again. Well. Anyways, an unused hint of title talks about you using a camera button to change camera angles. Yes. But you couldn't actually do that until the DX version, which added a free camera mode that let you use the camera stick to rotate the camera around. In the original Dreamcast version, you would rotate the camera with the L and R buttons. And to be honest, I think that the way the camera was originally works perfectly fine as it is. Normally the camera is pretty fine at pointing you exactly where you need to go, especially in the actual levels. Like, I think that the free camera mode, if anything, it's kind of tedious because you're expected to use both analog sticks at once, controlling the camera and controlling your character. You can press up on the camera stick to get a point of view and see from your character's point of view. So that's good, but it's kind of unnecessary. I love the way that the sky looks at dawn and at dusk. Foreshadowing. But yeah, I don't get people who say that the graphics of this game suck, because just look at the sky. Just look at the orange sky. Look at that. That's beautiful. I mean, sure, the human models are kind of plain, but you know, like, it's a Dreamcast game that was ported to the GameCube. And aside from some minor graphical changes, I did not want to talk to you. God damn it. There's such a large radius that you can talk to characters. But anyways, aside from some minor graphical changes in the levels, that really comes across as the DX version just changing stuff to make it look like they're improving the game and not actually fixing the real problems because they didn't have enough time. Like I don't get why they did so many of the minor texture changes for the DX version. I think the original looked fine too. I don't think that's worth constantly nitpicking over for the entirety of the game though. Like who cares, really?
Now you've got light speed shoes. Press and hold the action button to store up power. Once you have enough power, release the button and you can do the light speed dash. The light speed dash lets you race toward rings at light speed. As long as there's a trail of rings, you can go just about anywhere.
This is the worst version of the Lightspeed Dash in Sonic history. Thankfully, it gets better after this game. Look at how long you have to charge up.
Ready, go!
Also, I made a really stupid mistake here, and I forgot to get the upgrade for this until after Casinopolis. Or is it Casinoopolis? I don't know. Because I always remember to get the crystal ring when I play through the game, because I watch LPs of the game. But for some reason, when I was recording this game, I was so focused on the whole recording process, like stopping the recording during load times and starting them up again, so like file sizes can get gigantic. I was so focused on all of the recording process that I completely forgot the crystal ring. I felt so stupid when I realized that. Yeah, it doesn't suck that you can interrupt the train announcer by talking to NPCs. NPCs are non-playable characters, in case you forgot. Okay, why would they close the casino and make it impossible for regular people to go into it and gamble? I mean, I've heard NPCs talk like they can gamble, but still. Also, something I haven't mentioned about Emerald Coast yet is that it sounds like a remix of Spring Stadium scene. Must have been remixed pretty heavily because I didn't really notice a difference. See how long it takes to charge that up? I hate that. The gimmick with Casinopolis is pretty annoying. You can't just go to the goal. The goal is in the vault, but you have to collect 400 rings in order to fill up the vault with enough gold rings that you can actually use them as a step ladder or whatever, and only then can you get the Chaos Emerald. And you can play pinball to try your luck to get rings, but it's a lot faster to just fall down through the plunger or whatever it's called. And when you fall down, God, I hate these bumpers. Why do they have to make it so difficult to get down here? I always get stuck between them forever. Also, in the Japanese version of the game, you couldn't shake the pinball table for some reason. And they have the classic designs of the Sonic characters in the pinball table. And there's actually a pretty good reason for that. It's because originally they weren't planning to have redesigns of the characters for this game. Because you might have noticed by now that the characters actually have completely different looking designs for this game. And that's because they redesigned the characters to better show off the power of the Dreamcast. They originally wanted to have the classic designs here, and you can see that, you can see evidence of that in Casinopolis' pinball levels, because everyone has a classic design in the pinball machines. Also, you can plug in the second controller and control Tails that way when he's following behind you here. At one point, Tails actually got stuck flying to the ceiling here, and I found that really weird. Like, I looked up at him and he was just flying to the ceiling. I couldn't get him out. Like, this game definitely has its fair share of glitches. Oh, I hate when he does that. He stops every single time, and you have to wait for him to shake off. That's so annoying. It would be a nice touch if it didn't take so long. And you can actually get... See, he's right here. One of the bug testers actually pointed out this, and apparently it's not actually intended for Tails to be taking a shower with Sonic. Ah well. It's a nice touch that you can actually get Sonic to take a shower after he gets dropped in the sewers. Also, I like the music that plays right when you get dropped in the sewers, because it perfectly represents the comedic aspect of getting dropped in there. In every level of the game, there's rings that are out of bounds, and you can't get to them. Also, you might have noticed that you sit through loading times to get to the levels. If you play the game on a powerful enough PC, then the loading times will last for less than a second. So you'll barely get to read the title of the level at all. That's right, I said PC, because you can actually play this game on the PC. And apparently the original PC version of the game was butchered. So that's why I used the better SADX mod to make the game a lot better on the PC. In fact, I might even argue that the better SADX version is better than the GameCube version. But I haven't played it yet. We'll see. Anyways, Knights is a Sega character that flies through rings in the Sega Saturn game. And there's a lot of Knights cameos in plenty of Sonic games. I have no idea what you're supposed to do when you get in there. Part of the reason I'm taking so long is because I want to let you hear the music. I love the music that plays in the Knights Pinball level. I especially love the music that plays in the pinball level of... Oh yeah, there's a lot of alternate routes in Casinopolis, and some of them give you more rings than others. I ended up taking the worst one here. And I hated this level when I first played it because I kept getting damaged by the spike balls and getting all the rings knocked out of me. And so I had to go through here over and over and over again. You gotta be really careful not to get hit by the spike balls in your first time through until you get the shield. Then you don't really have to worry too much. And when you're going through the tunnel areas... Oh, bullshit! Anyways, when you're going through the tunnel areas, sometimes you don't want to hit the dash pads because they send you past the ring boxes, and you want to jump to get the ring boxes. So it's better to just jump. So like, see, I had to go back there. And something I haven't mentioned about the Knights pinball table yet is that originally they planned that instead of just getting a ring bonus when you received all 5 Idea gems, the Idea capture would be destroyed and Knights would fly around the upper half of the screen. I think an Idea is supposed to be like a representation of your courage and stuff in the Knights games. And look at how long this level has gone on. It's almost 8 minutes now. We've been here for 8 minutes. That's ridiculous. Like, how is that not a problem? There's actually an unused announcer line telling you to stand by and wait for the train in the Mystic Ruins. And this implies that they originally planned for you to have to wait for the train to show up when you're going to get it in the Mystic Ruins. And that would have been really annoying, so I'm glad that they decided that was a bad idea.
Try and deposit as many rings as you can. It may even help show you the way.
But we finally beat this level. Finally!
Yes.
Usually the Gray Chaos Emerald is the one you get last. So it's kind of weird that you get the Gray Chaos Emerald here. You can actually glitch characters into levels that they're not supposed to go in. But sometimes you'll get a different result from just being loaded into Sonic's level. Some empty level layouts still exist in the game, and they were left in the stories of their corresponding characters. Many of these level layouts are outdated with the wrong objects.
Oh no, the Chaos Emerald!
No, you don't!
That's right.
Oh, geez.
Despite Eggman being a comical threat, he actually turns tables on these guys.
Eggman.
And how is the knockout gas affecting both of these characters equally? These characters have completely different weights from each other. Tails is clearly of a smaller size than Sonic. How did they both wake up at the exact same time? And why were they sleeping
man.
sitting
What
up?
happened to that
Who
emerald
sleeps
you
sitting
just
up?
had?
But yeah, this is actually
I guess
pretty
Eggman's
good
got one
for
of
the
them,
story.
but the other one's safe. And that guy
It's not
must be
just
desperate.
Sonic always
That means
winning
his
against
two
Eggman.
to our one, and that's not good.
Eggman
Come
keeps
on,
one-upping
Sonic,
Sonic
we
and
need to
Tails.
get busy.
Unfortunately, sort of makes it come off as, why are you wasting your time getting the Chaos Emeralds when you're just getting them to Eggman? Yeah, the camera controls are kind of weird here. It kept going in a direction I didn't want it to, and that's why I had trouble following along with Cream. But yeah, that's Cream the Rabbit, and we'll be seeing a lot more of her in Sonic Advance 2. There's actually a cameo of her in, like the DX version of the game isn't the only version of the game where she makes a cameo. She actually appears in the Xbox Live Arcade version of the game, even without the DX DLC installed, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool bonus. I had way too much trouble getting the crystal ring here. And once you get the crystal ring, you can just press the switch and get out.
This is the Crystal Ring. This reduces the time needed to store power for the Lightspeed Dash.
It reduces it to the amount of time that it should have been in the first place. Seriously, why did this crystal ring need to exist? Why couldn't you just had it by default? Why? Like, if they knew that it took too long to charge up the Lightspeed Dash, then why did they make it that way in the first place? Especially since you get the crystal ring so early after you get the Lightspeed Dash. Anyways, even though this game has some problems, I still think it's a really good game even to this day. There's some people, including Game Grumps, who even claims that this game is worse than 06. But that's ridiculous because I was playing through this game and I had so much fun. I was laughing and enjoying myself the majority of the time that I played this game. Screw Game Grumps, this game is awesome, and I'll be happy to show you all the stories of this game. But for now, we're going into the next part of Sonic's story, so see you then.